I love it. I love it. I love it. Look at this. This is the greatest thing I've ever seen.
Hey, I'm not surprised.
Hey, what's good? What's good, my bros? What's good? UFC 280. This is a big pay-per-view card. Let's get straight into it, man. Money City, then into the breakdown. Let's go. First Money City comment's going to be from Sean. You know Sean smacks the Money City plays. Look at this. Jackson Rodriguez inside the distance. Joe Anderson Brito inside the distance. It's money. That's money. Now we're looking at Dirty Reg, who, this guy's an OG. Hey, Dirty Reg, I remember you from like when I had 200 subscribers. You're an OG. Tyra, Menefield, Mana, plus 242. That's money. Jumbo Loco, Malkoon, Mana. What? Hang on a minute. Malkoon, Mana Marti. Okay, so it's not plus 880 because we ain't got Royval, but hey, that's still money. That's money. Hey, my boy Pike is consistent with these two pieces. Look at this. Grasso money line. Menefield inside their distance. That's money. Phenomenal predictions. He's got some phenomenal predictions. Look at this. Pete Rodriguez. Malkoon. Didn't get the Royval one, but hey, it's still money. That's money. It's phenomenal predictions. Ahmed said Rodriguez. Again, the Askarov one didn't get that. Menefield. Hey, that's money. Again, too many people lack money. Let's go. Let's go, Ahmed. My boy Kyle James, check this. Rodriguez KO. Brito won't go the distance. No, it didn't. Menefield -2. Plus 175. Kyle James with the money. Let's go. Let's go. Cameron Shimurda. Tatsu Taira. Dusko Wright. Under 2.5. Jackson and Rodriguez under 2.5. It's Money City. It's Shimurda City. Let's go. Vision picks simply said Alonso Menefield. Money line is a lock. No lies, that's money. And guys, the final Money City play is going to be from Casanova. And this one's my favourite play because he said, look, how can you not do a Martinez Rodriguez parlay? How can you not? It's money. That is money. Let's go. Now guys, just before we get into breaking down the fights, obviously I made money again. Right, Alexa Grasso at -175. Yeah, put that in 2 weeks ago. Beat the money. Get dusted. And my other bet, the only other bet I made was Piera in play, where I actually missed round 1 because I was watching the boxing. But yeah, plus 100 round 2. Piera Rodriguez. That's money. Let's go. Alright, let's jump into the card. Hamzat, smash the like button. Subscribe. Let's go. Alright, first matchup on this card, we've got Lina Lansberg taking on Karol Rosa. Now, let's start by saying Lansberg, quite old. 40 years old. I know Guido Canetti and the Suncell both pretty old and they won their fights recently, but we shouldn't deviate from logic. Rosa has really nice jiu-jitsu. Brown belt, black belt, high level jiu-jitsu. She's only lost one time in the UFC, which came to Sarah McMahon in her last matchup. And you know, that matchup, kinda bad performance. Essentially, Sarah McMahon done a good job at ragdolling the opponent. And you'd have to guess that if Lina Lansberg was going to win this matchup, she'd have to replicate a similar performance. So if Lina Lansberg is going to win, you know, push the opponent against the fence, get takedowns, look for control time, just out-grapple the opponent. But like I said, I'm not going to deviate from logic. Even though a Suncell's old, he won. Guido's old, he won. I'm not deviating from logic. For me, I think if Rosa keeps this matchup on the feet, she should butcher Lina Lansberg. That's going to be my first pick. I'm going to take Rosa. Alright, moving into a matchup between Muhammad Mokaev taking on Malcolm Gordon. Now, Muhammad Mokaev 2-0 in the UFC, primarily a wrestler. This guy's all about the ragdoll performance. You know what I'm saying? He's pretty good at doing that. I did say that Mokaev would be a UFC champion before he even made his UFC debut. Then he went in there and completely dusted Cody Durden, like inside a minute. Then it was complete domination against Charles Johnson. You know, the grappling control, super good. Now guys, on the flip side, I would have to say that Malcolm Gordon has shown a couple weaknesses, right? The first weakness is going to have to be the cardio. The cardio's not great. The second weakness, I would have to say the takedown defense is not too good. Then you look at Malcolm Gordon's striking and, you know, it doesn't exactly stand out as a high-level striker, it doesn't exactly frighten you. You know what I'm saying? So you've got one fighter that's, you know, got really good grappling, really good control, good cardio, likes to ragdoll you. The opponent hasn't got good cardio, hasn't got good takedown defense. He's got to go to Dubai. I'm seeing the winner. I know who the winner's going to be. I'm going to side with Muhammad Mokaev, the future flyweight champion, inside the distance to win this matchup. Maybe the over 1.5, maybe that hits. But I do expect Mokaev to find like a rear naked choke towards the end of this matchup. You know, if Gordon's exhausted, you know, getting ragdolled, gives up his back, and then Mokaev just takes the neck. You know what I'm saying? That's got to be my pick. I'd have to side with Muhammad Mokaev to find a rear naked choke, maybe late round 2. Moving into a matchup between Armen Petrosyan taking on AJ Dobson. Now, guys, I am 2-0 in predicting Armen's UFC matchups. Didn't get his his Contender Series matchup. I got that one wrong. But I felt like I got a good read on Armen as a fighter from that Contender Series fight. Now, essentially, Armen is a Muay Thai striker. I took him as a nice underdog against Violent Obama, Gregory Rodriguez. And then I went against him with Kyle Bahello for obvious reasons. And the obvious reasons are going to be, you know, takedowns are coming all night. So you've got to be successful with defending those takedowns, which he wasn't. Now, guys, AJ Dobson obviously isn't the same level of grappler as RoboCop or Kyle Bahello. Both of these guys are high-level grapplers, as most Brazilians are. Now, AJ Dobson does have the grappling advantage, right? But my concern for him is going to be the cardio. He practically fell off a cliff against Jacob Malkoun. You know, round 1 looking good. After that, beyond exhausted. I think even if Armen loses round 1, right, I believe he's going to stop the takedown in round 2. You know, start to find a home for all of his kicks. You know, starts to find a home for all of those Muay Thai techniques. It's clear to see what AJ Dobson wants with this matchup, right? He wants a takedown. He probably gets a takedown round 1. But is he going to get a takedown round 2? You know, is he going to get a takedown outside of round 1? I don't think he's gonna. I'm going to say no. So for me, guys, on this one, I'm going to side with Armen to get a round 2 TKO, especially if Dobson starts to fatigue. That's going to be my pick. Round 2 stoppage. For the Muay Thai striker, round 1 might not be too good, but outside of round 1, starts to find a home for all those techniques. I think he might get a stoppage. I'll take Armen. Moving into a very weird matchup between Abubakar Nurmagomedov taking on, let me try to get this name, Gadzhi Omargadzhiev. Man, this is a weird matchup. I don't really have like a super confident read on this matchup, but you know, let's try to predict it. So Gadzhi Omargadzhiev got absolutely ragdolled by Kyle Bahello in his UFC debut. You know, kind of embarrassing, but I did pick Gadzhi in that matchup. And after seeing it, you know, I've got to admit, I completely overestimated the ability of Omargadzhiev. In all fairness though, guys, there was a big size difference that I really should have acknowledged in that matchup. Kyle was way bigger. And after getting ragdolled so badly, Omargadzhiev is now stepping down to 170 from 185. On the flip side, Abubakar Nurmagomedov isn't exactly Khabib Nurmagomedov. You know what I'm saying? He got choked out by David Zawada. His performance against Jared Gooden was much better. I kind of think this matchup, you know, close to a coin toss, fairly close to a 50-50 matchup, considering both guys are wrestlers. Anytime you cap a matchup 50-50, it's going to be better practice to take the plus money, which I did advise last week with Maximov and Malkoun. Now, guys, this week, I'm going to advise you bite the bullet and side with the favourite. Like I said, anytime you've got a 50-50 matchup, you want to side with the plus money. But for this one, I'm going to advise you bite the bullet and pay the juice in a 50-50 matchup. Side with the favourite, Abubakar. And the main reason why I'm going to advise you to side with Abubakar is purely because Gadzhi's not fought at 170, right? He's not made that weight cut. He's not fought at welterweight. So my guess is going to be Abubakar Nurmagomedov is going to be successful with his wrestling attempts purely because Omargadzhiev isn't used to dropping down to 170. He hasn't fought at 170. So yeah, like I said, I believe it's pretty close to a 50-50 matchup. And when you've got a 50-50 matchup, you want to take the plus money as much as you can. But in this specific matchup, I advise the favourite as the pick. And that's Abubakar Nurmagomedov. Moving into a matchup between Zubaira Tukhugov taking on Lucas Almeida. Now guys, let's speak about Zuba first. This is a Russian who likes to stand and box. Most Russians like to wrestle, right? Get you to the mat, smash. But Zuba really likes to stand and let his hands go. You know, not really the typical Russian. On the flip side, you've got Lucas Almeida, who absolutely loves to let his hands go too. I mean, you look at the Contender Series matchup against Alhuba. My goodness, round one, really going for the kill. Really trying to stop the opponent. You look at Lucas Almeida against Trezano, you know, in his UFC debut. Beautiful, really beautiful performance. Essentially dusted Trezano. There's going to be positives for Zuba and there's going to be positives I like for Lucas. First, I'm going to list off all the things I believe are in the favour of Zuba. Now, obviously, experience is going to be one of them, right? He's got the experience advantage. He does have the grappling advantage also, but like I said, he's a Russian that kind of likes to stand and box. So maybe that's like a plan B for Zuba. You know, if he wants to use the grappling, the advantage is there. Now, the things I like in the favour of Lucas Almeida, it's going to be the aggression. Right, he really believes in his striking. The way he dusted Trezano really shows you how dangerous he is. He's technically aggressive. He's dangerous. Guys, you put the gun to the head and I've got a pick. I'm Team Brazil. I'm Team Brazil on this one. I think the underdog, Lucas Almeida, may land some big significant strikes that could sway the judges. I believe the underdog is the way to go with this matchup. I'm taking Lucas Almeida. Alright, moving into a matchup between Volkan Oezdemir taking on Nikita Krylov. Guys, I'm not going to lie. I found it very difficult to predict this matchup. Initially, I'm taking fighter A, then I swap to fighter B, back to A, back to B. It's a difficult matchup. And the truth of the matter is going to be, either of these guys can win. You know what I'm saying? Either of these guys can win this matchup. I did bet on Volkan Oezdemir against Paul Craig, right, when they fought in London. Volkan didn't really have like a super good performance. You know, kind of avoided the submission, avoided the triangle. He never had his back taken, anything like that. And he cashed my bet, but wasn't super impressed or anything like that. Now, Krylov also fought on the same card. You know, he fought against Gustafsson. My goodness, Gus, man, don't ever come back to the octagon. Dusted. You know, Krylov's kind of kill or be killed. You know, he's always been that way. Either I'm going to dust you or you're going to dust me. You know, that's Krylov's mentality. He did go 15 minutes with Ankalaev and Johnny Walker, but for the most part, he is going to be a kill or be killed type of fighter. Volkan Oezdemir used to break chins. You know what I'm saying? Used to dust you. Used to touch the chin and it's dust. Maybe the best prediction with this matchup is going to be fight doesn't go the distance. You know, assuming either Volkan gets dusted or Krylov gets dusted. Maybe violence is the way to go. I don't really want to pick this one. It's a difficult pick. I'm going to take Krylov. There you go. I'll pick Krylov. But this matchup's dangerous. You know, Krylov's kill or be killed. It's dangerous. Volkan Ozdemir's got a dusty chin. He might sleep Krylov, he might get slept, who knows? It's a dangerous matchup. I think potentially the best way to go on this matchup, fight does not go the distance. Maybe. Don't put too much money on this matchup. Moving into a matchup between Muradov taking on Caio. Now guys, Muradov, prior to that fight with GM3, had a lot of hype. But then he lost to GM3. The hype's kind of gone. Prior to the fight, it was looking good. Now the opponent Caio on the flip side, this dude is pretty good. He's a mauler, super good jiu-jitsu. His teeps on the feet are pretty good, although that's not really where he wants to match up. He wants to match up on the mat. Guys, at the end of the day, the most important thing is going to be the betting line, right? It's not going to be picking the winner. It's going to be the betting line. I know squares think the most important thing is picking the winner, but those people just don't fully understand the betting game. You know what I'm saying? They don't fully understand. Now, Kyle Behello at -250 is a steep price. Took him as an underdog against that Canadian Jeffrey guy on the Contender. I took him at -150 against Armen. -250, I don't care if he wins the fight or not. The price is off. It's a no bet. It's a no-brainer. Do I believe that Kyle has the ability to get a takedown? Do I believe that he could potentially rear naked choke Muradov? I do. I do believe that. Would I pay over 70% in this spot? Absolutely not. Why would I? I've made money on Kyle as an underdog. I've made money on him as -150. I'm going to let the squares bet this one. I'm good. I do like Kyle Behello's grappling work. I like the takedowns. I think he might get the takedowns with this matchup. But -250, no way. So my prediction is going to be Kyle Behello, but I do not advise you to bet on this price tag. Moving into a very, very good matchup between Belal Muhammad taking on Sean Brady. Now, Belal Muhammad hasn't lost since 2019, and Sean Brady's never lost. The guy's undefeated. Looking at what Belal usually does to win his fights, he normally gets takedowns, right? And his cardio, it's a weapon. I did take Belal as a nice underdog against Luque in his last matchup. And the main reason why I've done that, their takedown threat is legit. And it's a 5-round matchup. But here's going to be the problem with this matchup. It's not a 5-round fight. So can the cardio be a weapon? Probably not. And the second problem is going to be, can Belal get takedowns against Sean Brady? Because he's normally looking to take the opponent to the mat. In my opinion, I'm going to say no. Now, guys, on the flip side, Sean Brady is a black belt. He's a very good wrestler, right? And he normally looks to grapple the opponent too. Stylistically, both of these guys match up pretty well, right? The real difference, though, in my opinion, is going to be Sean Brady's more significant on the feet. If the fight doesn't go to the mat, which I don't think it's gonna, you've got a kickboxing matchup. So who are you going to pick in a stand-up fight? All day, Sean Brady is going to knock this guy's eyes straight. I believe that Sean Brady is going to stay undefeated because he's got a checkmate. You know, can Belal get takedowns? I don't believe so. Can Belal use the cardio? I don't believe so. Two things that he normally does. And those are two things that I don't think he's going to be able to do. And that's why I'm picking Sean Brady to win this matchup. Alright, this is normally where we do the smoke break, but this is my final week of the tolerance break. I'm going to break the tolerance on Saturday for obvious reasons. You know, as soon as that first fight comes around, sparking up, going to another planet for like 5-6 hours, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, if you waited to not smoke with me, that's an amen. If you've been smoking this whole time, double amen. If you're not a smoker but you enjoy the smoke breaks that aren't even smoke breaks, that's a triple amen. I don't want to be arrogant, right? So I'm going to say I'm one of the best at doing what I do, and that's gambling. But let's just take a look at how much money I've been making recently, starting from the most recent UFC event. Now, some people might be looking at that thinking, well, how much is this going to set me back? How much would I have to pay you to get these bets? Unbelievably, I'm robbing myself. $5. I'm robbing myself. Not only do you get all of my bets, you get to be in my Discord where we chop it up Monday to Sunday, right? Not only do you get that, I go one step even further. I'm giving you value props. And I'm telling you, these value props, they smack. I'm not going to be arrogant. I'm going to say I'm one of the best, okay? One of. And if you check all of those bets, not only do I win those bets, check the line. Go check the line. I'm not hitting these day of. I'm putting these in advance. And anybody that's like betting on the day, you can't really class yourself as a professional because you're missing out on so much value. Yeah, guys, it sets you back $5 to be part of my team. I'm robbing myself. It's closer to $500. I'm not going to lie. All right, let's jump into the main card. Let's go. Moving into a matchup between Katlyn Chookagian taking on Fiorot. Now, guys, Katlyn Chookagian, let's be honest. This girl's a point fighter. You know, almost has like a fetish for winning decisions. You could say that this is Jotko's sister. You know, just boring. Fiorot's actually exciting. You know, Muay Thai very good. Super powerful. Technically brilliant. Actually looking to hurt the opponent rather than looking to just land meaningless strikes like Caitlin. In my opinion, there's only one real way that Caitlin's going to beat Fiorot, and that's simply by racking up the numbers, you know, high output. She has to land at a higher clip, but I don't really see that happening. You know, I think Fiorot essentially going to punch a hole through Caitlin's head. I think Caitlin will be on her bike all fight, you know, trying to make it difficult for to land her shots. I also believe that Caitlin is also going to find it difficult to land her shots. The real difference here is going to be the significance. Like I said, Fiorot, for me, she's actually looking to hurt the opponent, whereas Caitlin's just looking to outclass the opponent, not really trying to hurt him. So for me, it's quite an easy pick. I'm going to side with Fiorot. She's significant, and I think she's going to hurt Jotko's sister, Caitlin Chookagian. Boring. Haven't picked against Fiorot yet. No way I do here. That's my pick. Moving into a matchup between Dariush taking on Gamrot. Beneil hasn't lost since the start of 2018, which is kind of crazy. Extremely good jiu-jitsu. His stand-up, you'd have to say, has improved. You look at the way he smacked Holtzman with that spinning back fist. Dusted. The way he starched Drakkar closer. Dusted. Beneil is primarily a grappler though. You know, wants to outwork the opponent with the wrestling, with the jiu-jitsu. Now, the problem is Gamrot has extremely good wrestling. His wrestling ability, I would have to say, is better than Beneil's wrestling. I wouldn't say his jiu-jitsu's better than Beneil, but the wrestling is going to be better. So, essentially, what you've got with this matchup is going to be grappler versus grappler. Now, guys, whose footwork is better between Beneil and Gamrot? I'm going to say Gamrot. Whose cardio is going to be better? I'm going to say Gamrot. Who's got the better fundamentals in boxing? Like, who's fundamentally better? Who's technically better at punching? I'm going to say Gamrot. And the last question is going to be who's got better fakes and feints? I'm going to say Gamrot. Although both of these guys are grapplers, I do believe Gamrot is better than Beneil in all of the areas that I've just noted. I'm going to side with Gamrot to win this matchup. Beneil is going to lose for the first time since 2018. Alright, moving into a matchup between Petrosyan taking on Sean O'Malley. Great matchup. Great matchup. Now, guys, let's start by saying this. I believe Sean O'Malley is going to win this matchup. I think everyone picking Petrosyan, I think you're going to be shocked. That's literally how I'm going to start this breakdown. I think potentially, a few people might be shocked. It's really not as simple as saying, you know, Petrosyan's the best, Sean O'Malley isn't, I'm picking Yan. It's just not as simple as that. It's not a 25-minute matchup. It's a 15-minute matchup, which is in the favour of Sean O'Malley. Now, my second question is going to be this. How many times has Petrosyan lost round one? How many times? Multiple times. So there we go. It's not a 25-minute matchup. It favours Sean, and Yan has lost round one multiple times. So how can anyone bet Petrosyan minus 300 pre-fight? How can you do that? Sean O'Malley's the right side. Plus 250, plus 275. What happens if Sean O'Malley is switching stances round one? Right, the whole of round one switching stances. What happens if Sean O'Malley's using all of these feints, all of these kicks, a variety of kicks round one? I'm going to tell you guys what will happen. Right, the betting line goes to minus 110 both sides. There's only 10 minutes left and Sean O'Malley has won round one. Every single Petrosyan bettor is sat there screaming at their TV, why did I bet minus 300 Petrosyan? I'll tell you why. Because you didn't think about it. Sean O'Malley plus 250, assuming he wins round one, yeah? I'm picking Sean O'Malley. Styles make fights. Sean has enough to win round one. It literally makes no sense to bet Petrosyan pre-fight. If you want to bet Petrosyan, let him lose round one, the way he normally does lose round one, and then bet him. You know, down one round, minus 110 in play. Guys, I'm just stating the facts. How many times has Petrosyan won round one? How many times? Not many. The guy's a slow starter. How many times has Sean O'Malley won round 1? Pretty much all the time. The guy's very confusing. He's switching stances, using a lot of kicks, a lot of looks. I'm sorry, but if you think Peter Yan's like an easy pick, your brain's shut off. You're not using your brain. I've stated the facts. The facts are Peter Yan has lost round 1 multiple times. Facts are Sean O'Malley is one of the most confusing strikers on the roster. You put those two things together, yeah, I see Sean O'Malley winning round 1. And if he wins round 1, there's 10 minutes left. Now you make your in play on Peter Yan. If you bet Peter Yan pre-fight, he's going to lose round 1 because Sean O'Malley is very confusing to get a read on. You can't get a read round 1. Before you know it, that first 5 minutes is done and you're thinking there was a lot of kicks, switching of stances, a lot of feints. You're going to be confused for that first 5 minutes. So if you want to bet Peter Yan, do not do it pre-fight. Do it after round 1. Sean O'Malley wins the matchup. Moving into the co-main event, Aljamain Sterling versus TJ Dillajuice, TJ Dillaroids, TJ Dillasnake, Tyler Jeffrey. Not really a fan of either of these guys for obvious reasons. You know, TJ's a cheater, Aljo's a bad actor. Not really fans of either of these guys, but it should still be a good scrap. If Aljamain Sterling establishes the backpack, obviously he's going to win that round. Easily the most overpowered position you could establish inside the cage. Now, if the fight stays on the feet, I think Aljo has high output, you know, constantly working teeps to the body, constantly working, but that kind of drains your energy. TJ Dillashaw is way more technical in the striking, so I'd kind of guess that Aljo's going to mix in the takedowns. You know, look to show how strong he is with the grappling like he normally does. But then again, TJ Dillashaw does have good wrestling experience where he can maybe scramble, maybe work back to the feet. This is a 5-rounder, right? So even if Aljo goes 1-0 down or even if TJ goes 1-0 down, there's a lot of time. There's a lot of time to work back into the fight. And I think this one's going to be entertaining. I think it's going to be a back and forth contest. TJ Dillashaw wins the fight. TJ Dillasnake, TJ Dillajuice, maybe a split decision. Maybe it's going to be a very close contest and TJ wins a split the same way Aljo won a split. Yeah, for me, I'm going to take the Snake in this matchup. I think his wrestling's pretty good, so even if Aljo tries to out-wrestle the opponent, Tyler Jeffrey's going to be able to work back to the feet, you know, show a good scrambling ability. Then you have to go to work on the feet. If Aljo fatigues, you got to find your shots, find those round-winning strikes. And like I said, if it's a close contest, maybe a split decision, I'm going to go with the Snake. Alright guys, main event, Charlie Oliveira taking on Islam Makhachev. Let's get straight into breaking down this fight. Now guys, as most of you know, Do Bronx is the most talented jiu-jitsu player in the UFC. He does hold the record for most submission wins. Is there a better jiu-jitsu player? No, there isn't. Do Bronx is number 1 when it comes to jiu-jitsu. Now looking at other areas that Charlie Oliveira is really good, look at the kicks. Look at how beautiful the kicks are. The Muay Thai kicks are dangerous, they're quick, they're powerful, they're nasty. They're a big part of Charlie Oliveira's game. He'll kind of march you down with beautiful kicks. You know, are you going to shoot a takedown? Why would you shoot a takedown? You're probably not. I'm just going to march you down with kicks. Then on top of that, obviously the straight punches are pretty good, the check hooks. He's a good striker. Now guys, here's the thing with this matchup. Islam probably does shoot a takedown. Some people might say, well, if he does that, he's really playing with fire. And to that statement, I would agree, especially round 1. You know, I definitely agree that if Islam takes Charles to the mat and there's no sweat, no fatigue, they're both fresh, he's playing with fire. But what happens if Islam takes Charles to the mat round 2, round 3, round 4? These rounds I see Islam being very strong on top. And I kind of think that Islam may potentially find his own submission later in the fight. Now guys, Charlie Oliveira's a finisher. He's a finisher. So if you want to bet Charlie Olives, you hit inside the distance. You know, forget about the money line. Forget about decision. I think you really hit inside the distance. Don't try to pick between TKO and sub. Just bet inside the distance. And maybe you can sprinkle round 1, round 2. Because if Charlie Oliveira is going to win this fight, it's probably going to be early. It's probably going to be in those rounds. But if he doesn't get a stoppage in round 1, round 2, I'd have to say that there's going to be a new champion. If the round 1 stoppage doesn't come, if the round 2 stoppage doesn't come, there is a new champion. And the name's going to be Islam Makhachev. Those final 15 minutes, that's where Islam's really going to shine. You know, those final 15 minutes, that's where champions are made. And I think Islam's ready to be champion. I'm taking Islam Makhachev, round 3, round 4, round 5. One of those rounds, a ground and pound stoppage, a submission stoppage for the new champion, Islam Makhachev. As always, drop down your main event, your co-main event, all of the predictions you've got, the bets you've got, MoneyCity plays, drop all of that. And as always, keep your eyes to the sky, never glued to your shoes. Mac Miller. Alright, peace.